Hi, Sean here from Persian Cat Corner. Just wanted to record a quick video for you today, just comparing the Litter Robot 3 Connect and the Litter Robot 4. So I've had litter robots myself for probably 5 or 6 years at the point of recording this video. I originally had the Litter Robot 3 and then I got the Connect version. And then I've recently got the Litter Robot 4. So I've got a lot of experience of using them, sometimes not always good, and I've documented that in previous videos. So I thought it'd be quite useful to do a comparison video between the two and just see, is it worth it really to spend that bit extra to buy the Litter Robot 4, or are you still better to buy the Litter Robot 3 Connect? So firstly, I mean, if you look at this sort of size difference, so the Litter Robot 4's got a footprint, they say, similar size to a normal litter box. Obviously it's more bulky higher up, but the actual footprint apparently is just the normal size of what your conventional litter box would be. It's got obviously a circular opening, so it's more open, it's not as enclosed as the Litter Robot 3. The Litter Robot 3's got more of a, it's kind of more like a dome as such, with obviously the oval opening, and they are constructed a little bit different as well. So they're made out of different plastics. So the Litter Robot 3 is made out of more of a kind of shiny sort of polished plastic, where the Litter Robot 4 is made out of more of a matte plastic, and obviously they both have the tray underneath as such, where the waste is actually stored. So there's not too much of a difference in that respect, other than the fact the way the bag goes on. So I'll just show you in a moment. So the Litter Robot 4 has a deeper waste tray, so it's a little bit smaller in dimensions, but it's deeper, so it probably holds very similar. And the bag goes over the top of the tray, as opposed to on the hooks, which on the Litter Robot 3 they do on occasion cause problems. If you don't get the bag in line, it can interfere a little bit with the sensor there. So that's one thing I believe that they've addressed with the Litter Robot 4. And then you do have this fence that they've put at the front, which just stops any urine going down the front of the seals. I do believe this was a little bit of an afterthought. I think they released it originally without this. So I've just compared the sounds as well between the two. So now you can hear the Litter Robot 4 cycling. As I mentioned, it's a much quieter unit than the Litter Robot 3. So you probably barely can hear it here on the video, and then I'll cycle the Litter Robot 3 once that stops. So that's just resetting now. And like I mentioned before, the actual dome doesn't move, so you can see it's kind of solid on here, where when you cycle the Litter Robot 3, you probably hear the noise difference now. The actual dome itself turns, which can sometimes spook the cats a little bit, especially if they're not used to using them. So I'll just reset that back. So that's resetting now, just back to the start position, as you can see there. So definitely a big difference in noise, as you can hear. That's what I would say, that's probably the number one benefit of the Litter Robot 4. It's substantially quieter than the Litter Robot 3. The Litter Robot 3 is not massively noisy, but obviously some cats do get spooked a little bit. You can see the build quality between the two units. So the only thing I've noticed is the step on the Litter Robot 4 doesn't seem quite as solid as the Litter Robot 3. The rest of the unit is, and you can see like the way the controls are as well. So the controls are placed in a better position on the Litter Robot 4, definitely. You don't have to crouch down, you know, you stood up and you can cycle it manually if you need to. So on here you've got similar sort of buttons. You do have the connect button for the Wi-Fi as well on here, on the Litter Robot 4. But yeah, just in terms of the kind of build quality, you can obviously lift the rubber off there on the Litter Robot 3. You can on the Litter Robot 4, but it just feels a little bit, you know, it's just a little bit more difficult. It's like kind of clipped in as such. So if we lift the cover off the Litter Robot 3 here, you can see the construction. So it's just a thin piece of plastic basically with a sensor that clips in, and then you can lift the globe off and actually clean that out, which I recommend you do probably about once a month. Same again here on the Litter Robot 4. So again, it's just a thin piece of plastic basically that you can unclip, but the difference is the globe doesn't turn on the outside of the Litter Robot. Obviously it's covered inside, where on the Litter Robot the actual outside of the old dome kind of turns. So you can just see there inside. The sifting function, there was always a bit of a flaw on the Litter Robot 3 for me, with the flap inside, so the litter would gather, which seems to have been addressed, to be fair, on the Litter Robot 4. And here we have the carbon charcoal filter in the waste drawer on the Litter Robot 3. On the Litter Robot 4, it's actually at the back, so when you lift the cover off where the dome is, this carbon filter's in there. And then you've got the handle at the back here for picking it up, which is, it's in a better position really on the Litter Robot 4, so if you are carrying it, it's a little bit easier to move and carry the Litter Robot 4. So that's something I feel like you know, they've kind of upgraded on, definitely on the odor control. So that will be the first thing I would say over the two. So there's two main points I've noticed so far, and two main benefits really, and it would be the better odor control on the Litter Robot 4, and obviously it'd be much quieter. Slightly smaller footprint, but not massively. You know, there's not a huge difference between the two, as you can see, you know, side by side. The Litter Robot 4 still a big unit. The only kind of issue I would say with, you know, if you're going for the Litter Robot 3 at the moment, is the odor control. I've mentioned it in a few videos before. It's not the best. Again, it depends what litter you use. If you use very good quality litter, you know, that's kind of scented, it won't be as bad. But in general, after maybe 2, 3, 4 days, you can smell the waste in the drawer in the Litter Robot 3. Where I've noticed with the Litter Robot 4, even going up to sort of 6, 7 days of not emptying the waste drawer, the smell was still a lot better. So for me, the main benefit is the better odor control on the Litter Robot 4. It's obviously quieter. There's a nice little function within the Whisker app now as well, where it weighs your cat. So you can just see what your cat's weight is, keep an eye on that. You know, if your cat's gaining a lot of weight or losing a lot of weight, it could be potentially an health issue. So that's quite nice. And then you've got all the monitoring in the Whisker app, the same as you would have with the Litter Robot 3, essentially. Obviously the controls on the Litter Robot 4 are in a nicer position. And then if we look at some of the cons of the Litter Robot 4, I would say obviously the price. It's, you know, I think it's about $150, $200 more expensive than the Litter Robot 3. The step at the front doesn't seem as solid to me. When the cats jump on it, there's a bit more movement on it. It's not an issue as such, but it's just, you know, something to look at really. The plastic does feel a little bit cheap in places, especially when you take the hood off. They do on both units, but obviously it is what it is. It's basically just a plastic device with a load of sensors and some rubber and a sifting function inside. The other thing that I thought was a little bit disappointing really on the Litter Robot 4 was the front fence. I know you can get the fence for the Litter Robot 3, but I just think they may have missed a trick in when they designed it. Obviously this bit of plastic at the front is it's a bit of an afterthought to me, and it is a little bit clunky to sort of clip it on. Once it's on, it's fine, but I just feel, you know, if you're designing a product that's, you know, $750, you need to be looking in the R&D phase at things like this. You know, if that was not an issue on Litter Robot 3, it certainly shouldn't have been an issue on the Litter Robot 4. So just something, you know, if I'm looking at the differences between the two. So Litter Robot 3, obviously it's cheaper, but it is more noisier. It has worse odor control. The footprint overall is bigger. But like I say, the step feels a little bit more solid. The rubber where the step is easier to just lift off and tip it out. So based on my experience, I've run them both back to back for, obviously I've had the Litter Robot 3 Connect now for 4 or 5 years, and I've been using the Litter Robot 4 for about a month at this point. And I would say the Litter Robot 4 is definitely an improvement over the Litter Robot 3. You can see it's almost like a generation newer. They've ironed out a couple of the flaws. Like I say, the flap inside the Litter Robot 3, when you're doing an empty cycle, it just gets caught a little bit of the litter and it doesn't empty properly. So they've ironed out that issue. And just the fact it's quieter, better odor control, I would say for me it is worth the upgrade. I know it's more expensive, but the Litter Robot 3 is not cheap unless you're getting a used version, and then you could probably save some money. So if it was sort of buying a used Litter Robot 3 or buying a used Litter Robot 4, maybe if I was on a limited budget, I'd still get the Litter Robot 3 Connect if possible. But even still, when I've looked at the used prices, there's not a great deal of difference. So if you are going to spend $500-600 on a litter box, I'd say for the extra outlay, you're probably better getting the newer technology of the Litter Robot 4. So I will be doing more videos documenting my long-term experience of the Litter Robot 4. So I normally do a video after a month or two, and then one after 6 months. And if there's any issues that I flag up, you know, along the line, I will do a video. It's one of those where I believe in doing open and honest reviews. You know, there's no point me telling you it's absolutely fantastic, there's no downsides to it, and then you buy the product and you're left a little bit underwhelmed. I like to document the cons of the product first, and then it helps you make an informed buying decision. So if you have enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and if you are looking to purchase the Litter Robot 4, I'll leave a link below the video where you can get $25 off. It's not a massive amount, but it's $25 in your pocket rather than Whiskers. And if you do that, thank you very much. It helps support the channel. So I'm an affiliate for the Litter Robot product, so I do get a small commission if you click through that link and purchase. So if you do that, thank you very much, and thanks for taking the time to view this video. Bye bye for now.